All right, all right. Um, Light and love, peace and blessings to the family. Like and subscribe. Well, like the video and subscribe to the channel if if this is cool with you, if you like the information that I'm bringing out. Definitely trying to grow the channel. I think I've said this before, but uh here we go. Moving on, right? I'm calling this video The Rise of the Christian Apologist. Based on what I've seen in the media in the last couple of weeks. There's been some hits taken, there's been some shots fired, you know what I'm saying? And it's just interesting to watch, these intellectual assassinations go down, right? And definitely not here to cry over spilled milk or whatnot, or to play the blame game of what's going on here though. But analyze and level up, right? Because the recent showdowns between the conscious community and the Christian apologists, what it's done is it's exposed, some flaws and some flaws in the scholarship in some areas where we need to grow, basically, right? And then it has shown the fallacy involved with following people are praising people that really just have pseudo scholarship. You know what I'm saying? There's one thing to get downloads from the universe and test them out, but it's a whole nother thing when you're entering the scholarship realm. You know what I'm saying? It's nice. It's definitely nice when the information that you have and scholarship lines up. But when it comes to subjective spiritual experiences, sometimes it's just not the case. And then, but when you're making historical claims, we can definitely get into some scholarship right there, right? So the debates that we've seen, especially the ones with Billy Carson, you know what I'm talking about, and then this other one with the conscious community representative, Melick Dexter or whatever, they showed that really just having passion, really just having passion without preparation, it's not doing it anymore, right? These apologists, you know what I'm saying? They're coming to play chess, battlefield chess, and we still playing checkers. And I don't know if that's a lack of the want to acknowledge the limitations of our ancestors, our predecessors that moved, that came into this space before us, and then not acknowledging that we can build upon their information. I don't know what that is. To acknowledge. But however it goes, we definitely need to improve. And let's get one thing straight, right? As far as Pan-Africanism and African spirituality, our philosophies, the history, our spiritual systems is solid, you know. And then we got to be honest, too many of us we lean on charisma. You know what I'm saying? Charisma, wild speculation, surface level knowledge when we step into the ring. You know what I'm saying? And then these Christian apologists, these Christian apologists, they're pulling out theological scholarship, just like their tools, it's their weapons in this battle. And, to keep it 100, just to keep it a buck, just because they got their tactics together doesn't mean they have rationality on their side, right? They've just mastered their tools. So then we've had to identify, what our tools are and master them ourselves. So that's kind of what tonight's thing is. Tonight's thing is, right? It's taking a look at, what went down, and then, preparing to rebuild, and then to get people, brothers and sisters, more aligned with the universe, right? More aligned with nature. So Billy Carson. I already discussed Billy Carson before. People are still making videos, but I think it's fizzling out. I'm really not feeling this going on for very much longer. But you got to say it's definitely that one took a hit. That one took a hit. We know Billy's got energy. We know he's got charisma. We know he can pull a crowd, right? But and what we see that can only take you so far, especially when your opponent is already locked and loaded, you know what I'm saying, with facts. And that's what Billy didn't have on his side that night in that portion of the debate. He didn't have the facts because this dude Wes Huff, he didn't just show up, you know, with arguments. He came with receipts. We saw him pull out the primary sources. He just turned around and pulled the thing off his shelf, whatever that was, the papyrus off his shelf, the scroll off his shelf. And he had a sharp understanding of the flaws in in that part of Billy Carson's discussion. He had a keen understanding, but he had been hunting him, like I said before, for a while, right? And Billy, you know, he just wasn't aware. And then I don't know what he did. He could have came around that discussion, you know, a bit better. But this wasn't, you know, but he didn't. And so Huff, he picked those arguments that he made, he picked his sources apart. And it shows that we have, I don't know, maybe thousands of videos made. We definitely have hundreds, if not millions of views, you know, cumulatively all together on people watching Carson lose are the Christians and the people harping about how Carson lost this debate. I'm not going to do the math and the tally on that. I'm just assuming that's what it is, right? But, you know, this wasn't just about losing the debate, though. You know, Carson's lack of preparation and reliance on vague claims. That's what this was about, right? Huff, he didn't beat him. He didn't beat him because, you know, Christianity is superior. You know, that's not why he beat him, right? He beat him because Carson didn't have the facts, the most up-to-date facts on the information that he was presenting. And we all saw that. That's what everybody is really talking about, right? Now, the other thing I wanted to discuss is what happened on that other channel. And I'd never seen this channel before, so I can't hardly initiate it, right? On that channel, hardly initiated, we saw Pan-Africanists going up against Christian apologists and listening to the discussion of the people on the side of Pan-Africanism, you know, you can tell that they are coming from classical Pan-African discussions. And when I say classical, I mean like typical 90s era discussions, right? Where simple critique and vague associations was all that was necessary in order to have these conversations, right? But, you know, they've been these Christian apologists, they've been straight up dragging us when it comes to sources. And too many of us rely upon secondhand quotes, you know, of these scholars, and we don't even dig deeper. You know, we'll reference Dr. Ben or Ivan Van Sernerville and so on and so forth. But when apologists ask for the primary evidence and context, that's where the stumbles begin to happen. That's where the falls begin to take place. And so we got to recognize that they're playing the long game, right? And we're getting caught up defending scholars and defending when we should be doing something different. Give me a moment. Give me a moment. So, right, the solution, you know, it's not to toss our scholars to the side, right? Because they laid the foundation. It's about respecting, you know, their struggle, so to speak. Because they went through a whole hell of a lot to get us here. And we need to go through a whole hell of a lot to bring it a lot further, right? But what's going on is that these apologists, they're thinking that we're not going to do our homework. And that's just not the type of people we are. That's not the community that this is, right? We need to elevate our scholarship, right? We need to stop playing defense and dive into our primary text. We need to go into the pyramid text, the Book of the Common Forth by Day. We need to read the church fathers, understand the formation of things. When we get into the formation of things, that's when we can start breaking it down. Pastor Damon Richin or Dr. Damon Richin, whatever he is, he he blatantly are subtly dismissed the most potent argument that was presented, but no one took advantage of that. I'm gonna let that slide, and if I'm able to get in on this, I'm gonna bring it up, and I'm a corner on it because this is the uppercut to the jaw that that's really nice. It's an uppercut to the jaw that'll take you out. All right. So first of all, so that this doesn't happen to us brothers and sisters that get downloads and meditate and go off and do rituals and so on and so forth, we need to still master scholarship, right? Go into the archive, start learning, the ancient African text, start learning the archaeological records. You know what I'm seeing, everything in between. Next, we got to anticipate their conversation. We have to study their conversation. We have to study objective morality. We have to study our African worldview. We have to study the Christian worldview. You understand? We have to study what is a worldview. So when it's asked again, we can respond, and then we can explain, expand and explain. You understand? That's what we have to do. And then we have to get our debate skills up. You know what I'm saying? Don't go into really don't enter into a conversation with a Christian and not understand and not think that you're not going to get into a debate because they have a lot to defend because they think they're defending truth. It's like the man said, he's defending what he believes is his existential existence, right? But the other thing to know, and then the other thing to understand is it's just not about winning debates, but about reclaiming who we are. It's about reclaiming our story. For too long, African spirituality has been disrespected, misunderstood, overshadowed, so to speak. And, you know, Christianity is coming in and dissecting it in the hopes that it can make it go away. And let's be clear, our spiritual systems are not only valid, but they're the foundation of human spirituality. Concepts like Ma'at, truth, balance, and justice are universal principles, that predate Christianity and shaped humanity's understanding of morality. It was the objective morality before morality came into existence, so to speak. So let's be clear on that, right? These apologists, right, they love to frame our traditions as either inferior or pagan, and we don't need to accept that nor hear that. The reality is that African spiritual traditions, the African spiritual systems laid the groundwork of much of what they now claim as their own. So here's the bottom line, right? We've seen the defeats. They're not failures, they're just lessons. So, and they've shown us what we're up against. They've shown us what's going on. You know what I'm saying? And we just got to step up our game, right? We definitely have something powerful to say. We definitely know that we need to deconstruct this narrative and move forward. So, hope you enjoyed this. Like and share the video, and then help me grow the channel and whatnot.